Okay. Hey there out there in YouTube land. It's Kuda Slayer again. I decided, since it's been a few months since I last posted anything, I thought would try to catch back up and show off a few things. Um, the last project I tried documenting was the Nightlords pre-heresy Land Raider kit. That's from Forge World. I was trying to work on earlier. Unfortunately, that kind of stalled for a bit, and I lost interest before getting distracted by other things. And to kind of get my attention back, I decided to work on a contemptor I had lying around for the same army. But I'm going to give a review of what I think of the contemptor and kind of show you a few things what I did with mine. First off, I have to really admit I do think this is perhaps one of the best models that's come from Forge World in a while. This is perhaps the best dreadnought I've seen, and it's almost enough to make me want to replace all my other dreadnoughts with, but unfortunately due to size and cost, that's ain't gonna happen. But it's a real nice kit. Does offer a lot of opportunities to do just about almost anything you can think of. I love the posability and whatnot, but there are some problems. Kind of due to the way the kit is actually more sold. I noticed that for some odd reason there's a little bit of confusion of Forge World and how they supply the shoulders to this kit. I've seen a lot of indications that the shoulders will come with the body, while some arms will come with shoulders. There doesn't seem to be really more a pattern to it. And in many cases, I've seen arms just being sold without shoulders. And if you're going to you do like a magnetize your model so it could be modular and such. You're going to really have to think long and hard on how you're going to do this. And what your future uses of this going to be, and that's going to determine how you can use the magnets to help keep your kit modular. What I did was, since I don't think I'm going to do the dual gun missile launcher version, unfortunately I've not read the rules yet to see what the costs are and what's involved. But kind of what I did was I decided I'm going to turn one arm into a permanent close combat weapon, and then turn the other arm shoulder into being either connected as like right here, another secondary close combat weapon, or it can actually be the gun arm. And what I did was I just decided to pose that I wanted to do the close combat armament and glue everything together as normal, and then in the shoulder joint I drilled I forget what size these were. These are probably these have to be 1/8 magnets. I got about 2 or 3 magnets in here where I drilled a hole in and sunk magnets in, and at the same time on the shoulder, if you can see here, I drilled a similar hole with I believe 4 in this side, so that at least would be stronger and hold much heavier weights. Of course, when you're magnetizing anything like this, one important thing to keep in mind is where your polarities are, and make sure that when you when you go through all the trouble and money and everything to make these kits modular and such, you want to make sure that when you put the arms together, they actually are going to attract and hold. And as I was pointing out earlier on this arm, I did kind of the same thing. I sunk 4 magnets in this side, and then 2 or 3 in this side, and so they can hold each other. And then on the inside at the elbow, I sunk a few, I think about 3 in here, and sunk it down a little. It's unfortunately with this one piece where the shoulder goes to, it's kind of real thin. You have to really be careful and how you drill the hole and then sink the magnets. And then on the arm itself, you're gonna have to assemble the arm and then drill a single hole. Or I kind of found that you may want to consider drilling 2 holes, 2 separate holes, and then sink some 1/16 magnets in to make the joint. It works quite well. Unfortunately, with this last cannon arm, I kind of messed up a little, and unfortunately, the magnets are not exactly strong enough to really hold for very long. One suggestion I might make would be, instead of using 1/16 magnets, you may want to actually kind of cheat a little and actually take like a nail, make sure you get a fine, nice steel nail, cut it in the right length, and then sink it into the hole when you drill into your arm, and that way you don't have to worry so much about polarity on that particular joint. That's kind of one thing I found that really helps with when you want to magnetize a kit. Anyway, let's see. One of the things what I did was before I started putting this together was I wanted to do some research and find out a really good pose to put this in, because I thought it would be kind of complicated to keep it so that it could be posable in the afterwards. But I did some research and looked at what some other people did and found a kind of rather nice dynamic pose. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to put that foot in. So I'll just do a quick dry build here and show you kind of how hopefully the future incarnation of this would be once after it's painted and gets all the TLC it needs to before it can go out in the field and blow things up. It's which a lot of people have already commented on as being a very nice dynamic pose, as if it's just running and just tearing things up. Some people have asked what this what this other arm is here. Basically, this wire is going to be part of a plume of flame that's coming out of the heavy flamer. I got the starts of it right here. It's probably one of the very last things I do for this model. I'm going to make it look like a little bit of chaos-ridden flame as it shoots out and goes out towards the whatever it wants to burnate. Kind of what I did was I took some wire and pulled out the regular filaments inside the wire, and took the rubber coating and slipped it on over another piece of wire, then glued the head down, and then started putting some green stuff around it and use that as the base. And once it's done, I'll just glue it down to the wire and have it hold down. One of the first things a lot of times what I do is with models like this, especially when they're really big and dynamic, it usually makes them kind of top heavy, or at least not very stable. I will build my base so that it will be heavy enough so no matter what angle it stands on the piece of terrain or whatever, it will always stand up and not fall over. And what I do is, for all my special projects, I take a Snapple cap and just take some mold figures or some spare lead or something or whatever, and just put enough in to fill in, to take a blowtorch and melt it so that there's a nice solid chunk of lead down there, and it gives plenty good weight and everything. And so, you can almost drop it. And nice kind of things, you can just practically drop the straight off the table, and more likely it will come down, base down, and you may kind of reduce some of your problems of breakage or whatever. Of course, don't. That's kind of the chance you may not want to take either way. Another thing I did was I did not like how the last cannons were formed. And so what I did was I took the arm shield you can get from the Furious Blade Angel Dreadnought. I think it's part number 15 and 14. I could be wrong on that. But I took them and glued them to the sides here. They're almost perfectly the right shape and size to match up to both sides. Kind of gives a little bit more body and just makes it look a little bit more armored, a little bit more detailed instead of just having like the bare components of the last cannons themselves. And of course, typical chaos, I cut the heads off and put the dragon heads on. And you know, as you see, you have to put the spotlight as well, since it does get in the rules. The other thing that really makes it distinct is, if you notice, the rivets. The rivets were actually made from a 1/16 hole punch. You can get these at Michael's, Walmart, Target. They're about $4 a piece. And just take some plastic card and just kind of sit down and watch TV for about an hour or so, and just kind of just go, you know, punch a hole, punch another hole, punch another hole, punch yet another hole, another hole, another hole, and you can get a nice little series of bolts that you can glue over all over the body and kind of bring out more of the archaic sort of steampunk look that the model has. And so as you can see here, I went over all the joints, the original bolt rivets that were in the model, and then cut up. Oh, one of the things, because of the way the pose is with this leg, I didn't glue in this knee pad so that it kind of give me ability. I can still paint behind that one spot. So that's kind of, if you have to ask about that, that's why. Let's see. But so far, I think that's pretty much about all the little tricks I've done so far with this. Again, I've really enjoyed this model. It's been perhaps one of the more better Forge World models I've seen come out in a long while. Before you commit to anything with this model, I really do suggest you look at the net and see what other people have done, because it's such a great dynamic model. There's almost no reason why you should just build it into a static pose where it just looks more like it's more of a statue than an actual war machine. You know, bend the legs, have the arms come around, make it look. Originally, I was going to try to make this look like it was going to deliver a nice punch to something down about knee level. But I really think that anybody who gets this model should really try to outdo themselves and try to go for as far as they think they can. Well, for right now, I guess that's going to be it. If you have any questions, throw them down at the bottom in the comments section, or send me a private email. Meanwhile, keep converting, and everyone have fun. See you next time.
Sotto la linea, dove sotto la linea.